Hey everybody, welcome back to another 10-minute Marvel video. I'm Petter, and today we're going to be talking about this over here, the episode titles for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. We're actually going to do two videos today, because there's another thing I want to talk about, not related to this. We're going to be covering all of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man here on the channel, kicking off with the podcast coming out this Monday, where we're going to be talking about kind of our hopes and dreams, and a lot of that is going to be based off of these titles. So you can see this release schedule. This is a pretty unique release schedule in terms of a Marvel show. 2 episodes, 3 episodes, 3 episodes, 2 episodes. The reason for that is that buys that week of time between Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Daredevil Born Again. At least that's kind of why I think they're probably doing it. But we've known about that already. We want to talk now about these titles. I'm going to run down them quickly and see if it gives me any idea for this. So we have Amazing Fantasy, The Parker Luck, Secret Identity Crisis, Hitting the Big Time, The Unicorn Unleashed, Duel with the Devil, Scorpion Rising, Tangled Web, Hero or Menace, and finally, If This Be My Destiny. So, I expect with this show we're going to kind of get that villain of the week feel. You look at the February 12th episodes, Duel with the Devil, I'm assuming has to do something probably with Kingpin, but also then this is going to be the episode with Charlie Cox playing Daredevil. Then Scorpion Rising, obviously we're going to have Scorpion in there. So there's a number of different things that I kind of expect from this. First off, this show is loaded with a ton of different characters. We have Nico Moreau, we have Wave, Osborn, Strange, Daredevil, Kingpin, Scorpion, I believe Doc Ock, and more that we're going to be talking about here. The other thing, and they've talked about this with the show, is that while they want to remain faithful to what's been done in the MCU, that it is faithful up to a point. However, this is a multiverse story, not in the way that Spider-Man No Way Home was, but that at some point in time there's going to be this branch, this change that occurs from the story. We've seen stills that definitely are the battle at the airport. So there's going to be that element too, I would assume, early on in the story. And I wonder if it's going to be a situation where maybe somebody else recruits Spider-Man into that fight. Or, excuse me, based off of how that fight goes, maybe Iron Man doesn't bring Peter into the fold in the same way. He's like, well, you showed okay there, kid, but you're still just a kid. And it seems like we're going to get Norman Osborn giving Spider-Man one of his suits. Peter Parker one of the suits. So I wonder if it's going to be that different mentor figure stepping in, because Osborn exists in this timeline. Osborn doesn't exist in the main MCU timeline, at least not in the same way. So I really wonder if that's going to be where some of the questions come in. When you have a different mentor, what does that look like for Peter Parker, Spider-Man? Because we hear and we see on the finale the hero or menace. And then, if this be my destiny. But let's talk about hero or menace now for just a moment. Because if you have that questionable mentor, is it now going to be a situation where Peter has been pushed farther, has been pushed into a different area where, well, the episode or the show is called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. The public, whether led by the Daily Bugle or not causing this, is questioning if he truly is that hero. Does he go too far with Scorpion, or does it turn out that something Osborn has sent him on actually isn't on that up and up like he thought? That Osborn is a villain and he's been partnering with a villain. I really think that that could be part of this story. And then if we move it back up, looking at 3 and 4, Secret Identity Crisis and Hitting the Big Time. I would suspect that episode 1 is going to rehash, so I guess we're starting at the very top. But episode 1, the Amazing Fantasy, I should say, is going to be talking about what happened that we already know. We're going to be seeing some of that, and maybe it's going to be a situation where we see Peter Parker kind of daydreaming about what it could look like to be a hero. After the battle at the airport, he's like, well, I'm just back to being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But what could it look like? What would it be if it was bigger? And then the Parker look and Secret Identity Crisis probably are going to be that reveal of Peter Parker as Spider-Man to Harry and Norman. Probably both of them, I would think. And then Peter having to maybe accept working with Osborn in that Secret Identity Crisis, but also then that pushes him further into the spotlight. It pushes him into that fantasy that he had. The Unicorn Unleashed is a weird title. I don't have any guess on that one. But then moving down to that, we talked about 6 and 7, moving down to that Tangled Web episode, I think that's when Peter gets given a job by Osborn that turns out not to be good. And he gets caught up. He realizes that he's caught up in something else. He is caught up in something that is not just this heroic action, but something more nefarious. So, let me know your thoughts on these titles. Are you excited for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Honestly, I'm getting really excited for this one just because, these are going to be 22 to 30 minute episodes. They can't be over 30 minutes because of how the deal with Sony works. I mistakenly said, I believe, 22 minutes because that was what broadcast television would be, but they can't be over 30 minutes. So it's going to be nice. That's like an hour in an evening. So definitely going to be checking these out. I'm really excited to see what is going to be happening on this show. But which episode, just based off of the title, are you most excited for? Let me know that down in the comment section below. And if you enjoy this content, check out the other videos we have. We have videos on news and rumors like this, Marvel Comics, stuff that's being added to my collection, and Marvel trading cards, plenty of different things that you can check out here on the channel. I also mentioned the podcast where we're going to be talking about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man a lot. So you can check out the podcast, which last week we actually were talking about the Daredevil Born Again trailer, here on YouTube. Click onto the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate everybody who has subscribed and is checking out the videos. And then click on the podcast tab, or you can search for 10-Minute Marvel wherever you get your Friendly Neighborhood podcasts from. But with that, we'll see you next time.